Welcome, my dear students. Today's class we are going to view chapter 1, celebrating diversity. So, in this chapter, we will be covering few areas like what is diversity, diversity in India, how India becomes a diverse unity in diversity. So, these are the topics that we are going to cover today. And let us understand this chapter with a small example. Okay, the example what I want to point out is that when you are when you're coming to school, I mean when you're coming to school, you might be you might have friends who have who will be studying who will be studying in different part of the India, sometimes from other countries as well. Each of you are different from one another. The way you speak, the way you look like, the way the languages, or the way of religion, the way you look like. The different kind of foods, different kind of films you watch, different kind of clothes you wear. So everything is having some kind of difference one way or the other because of differences within yourself. Let's say about if you have friends of other state, your friends of other state will be having the kind of language will be different. The language he speaks, he speak will be most commonly of his mother tongue, whereas his religion will be different. Where his food, food he likes will be different, and the kind of films he watch will be his mother tongue regional language what he likes, whereas not yours. So different kind of clothes he wear will be different from one of your, the clothes you wear. So every aspects have different, kind of differences when you see from other states of India and even other country, you'll be able to find some kind of differences. You may excel in sports while your friends may not be he might not be excellent in sports. Maybe he might be excellent in some kind of subjects like maths, and sometimes he might be excellent in some kind of drawings, or let's say some kind of speech. He'll be excellent doing speech, or he'll be excellent doing debates or all things. So each individual or each student or each kind of person is very unique and special, and every individual has got his own talent. One individual's talents will be different from other individual's talent. So at the same time, all of you have one same thing is common, that is you all study in the same class or same school. So as a students, when you're coming to class, your class consists of, let's say, about 40 to, or means 50 students. So within these 50 students, each 50 students, each one character is different, behavior is different, the way you study pattern will be different. But one way or the other, if you change all the difference, so if you are avoiding all the difference, if you see one thing as common, that is all you 50 students is studying in same class, and you will be having a some kind of same notion that you all are studying in the same class. That is the notion, and that is regarding a small example I can point out for diversity. So let us view more detail about diversity now. So what do you mean by diversity? The state of being different. Different is that we have already seen through example what are different kind of difference from one another and being unique. That is, you, as I said in the previous example, there are different kind of characters or different kind of individual people. That is different. If your students will be having different kind of talent and everything, but even though if it is different, there is a unique feature is there in each individual student or each individual person or each individual each individual. There is a uniqueness is there. So being a different and being of unique is called as diversity. Diversity is a range of many people or things which are different from each other. So diversity, I hope you got a small idea about the diversity definition. So definition is that the state of being different from one another and of being unique is called diversity. So this is the definition for diversity. So we are going to see how diversity can brings you variety, and what I mean, why if diversity does not exist in this world, what happens? So let us assume that, or let us imagine that, if if you go out, but let's say that if you go out of the world, or if you go wherever to the world, if you are able to find only one plant of same kind of plants, wherever you visit or any place, you'll be able to find same kind of plants or same kind of animal on earth, or let's say same as your face resemblance. If you are able to find thousands and n number of people surrounding you. If you're finding the same face with what you see in the mirror, the same face what you see exactly the same all over the world or all over the places you visit, so you find something odd for yourself. Every time you went for shopping, you will be able to find the same product or same thing, you find something boring. So if there is a diversity, what happened is that you will be able to find differences in within yourself. That is, you will be able to find different kind of plants, different kind of animals on the earth, different kind of, I mean, not the same similar faces, but you'll be able to find different kind of faces of different kind of regions, everything. And every time when you go for shops, you'll be able to find differences. If you have diversity, there is a differences there. If you don't have diversity, you will not find any differences. You will not find any kind of variety too. So diversity brings variety. So we are going to see how it brings out variety in different examples. It is because of existence of diversity that we have so much varieties in our life. Imagine that you and your friends are celebrating friend's birthday party for eating out. Each of you want to have something different. So what you do is that, so whenever you go to a hotel or whenever you want to celebrate your friend's birthday, so suppose you visited a hotel, and your hotel, whenever you visited the hotel restaurant, you'll be able to get some kind of menu card in which there will be a lot many lists, in which there will be listed out lot many food items, or lot many ice creams, or let's say a number of food items will be displayed in the menu card, and it is your wish to order which food item you want. And there is a diverse, I mean, there is varieties of food items within one. Let's say about a product name called okay, the eatable item is called ice cream. Within ice cream, there is a varieties of ice cream, and if you want to order any type of ice cream, you have the choice of having a variety. So that brings I mean, diverse. Suppose you like a chocolate ice cream, whereas your friend like a vanilla ice cream, so that becomes diverse. So two type of choice. So you are free to order what you want. So that becomes a diverse. And if you think that, I mean, suppose let's think there is only one type of ice cream flavor, vanilla, and your friend likes chocolate, and if it's not available, I mean, that creates that does not brings any kind of variety, and it not create a diverse. So it is possible. So this is possible when each restaurant offers diverse option. Thus, when there is diverse, we have more options to choose from. So there is not diverse, we will not be able to choose anything. So since we have diverse, we are able to choose from thousands to with the thousand product, we are able to choose one product. So that is about the diverse that brings variety. So let us see how diversity has more importance in India. Our country is made up of people who belongs to diverse background. The reason why we have diverse background is that we know that India is consisted of 28 states and 9 union territories. Within 28 states and 9 union territories, each state is having its own specific culture, specific customs and practices, the way they look like, the way or the way they dress, and the kind of languages they speak. So everything is having some kind of diversity. So India's diversity has always been her strength. In spite of this diversity, there is a basic unity which keeps us together. That is our heritage. The heritage means it is very old and unique. It has involved about thousands of years and is like rich tapestry. The heritage it consists of basically this consists of social, cultural, economic, and political. So our heritage is mixed with all the four. That is the social means, is society. That is our society, the culture of our society, the history of our society is very unique in in each different places. But the kind of diversity or kind of diverse it has something unique. The culture, each state or each India's culture is different. The cultural background which creates and which tells how the history looked like and how was our culture before thousands and between how was it. And about the economy means how the financial what kind of finance we were having, what about the financial background for of the people during present past and everything we'll be able to understand. Then for the political, how was the rule and how was the rule was rule was prominent during thousand years before, etc. So all these social, cultural, economic, political developments have added vibrant and colorful threads to tapestry. So these are when this is how India is being a diversity. The next topic what we're going to study is how did India becomes diverse? In history, we tell us many people have come from foreign lands and settled in India. Since ancient times, people travel for different reasons. They different reasons and different places. And we know about settlement. That is, people travel from one place to other place, and they live in that place. Where they live may have been very cold, where no crops could grow. So what happened is that when they settled or when they live in that place where very cold, and since they're not able to find any crops to grow, they used to travel that place to other place. And when they settled in another place, very little rainfall, they could not have that could have to led to drought or famine. So what happened is that people, I mean, they move from that place to other place, where they have moved looking for work. So again, what happened was that there are people who, I mean, people who have, forced to migrate from one place to other place because of wars. People were forced because wartime people, I mean, the rulers or the freedom, the rulers or the people who used to, used to, demoralize the war. They force people to go out from their regional place and go to some other place. So many people who also came to India, lured by instrumentals as well. We know that before India. Before our independence, we were having n number of wealth, and we were the hell. India was considered to be the wealthiest nation in the world, and before the British came, India was very wealthy. And after the British came and their arrival, they loot out and they took what all the rich and cultural heritage what we are having, and they took most of our old traditional kind of ornaments and everything. They have taken them. They have taken it up, and they have taken our tremendous wealth. So India was blessed with tremendous wealth and lot many aspects within India. So next we are going to see how Indian culture has influenced people from coming outside and their culture. People from different countries, they used to come to India because of some of the reasons. So let's see which are the people who come outside of India. So people from Persia, Central Asia, Greece, Afghanistan, Tibet, Myanmar have come and settled in our country. And the reason why they settle in country is that they adopted. So when other people come and settle in India, so let's say for example, suppose if you are going to settle in some other place, so without our knowledge, we used to get some kind of cultures, or some kind of culture from their culture to ourselves, and we used to give our culture to them. So there is a kind of intermingling. So let us see how it takes place. When the foreigners, when they came to India, they adopted certain elements of our culture. That is, we Indians have our own cultures, and we have our own custom practices, everything. So they try to adopt the culture what we have, while returning some of the elements of their cultures and tradition as well was given to us, and we used to adopt, and we have adopted some of the traditional cultural elements of them, that is their customs and everything we have adopted. So this intermingling means the interlink of this all culture, custom, tradition, everything of culture shape the lives of people in different ways, new languages, dance forms, schools of music, paintings, as culinary religious emerge. So new language sense that when people of other country, when they came, so when they came with different languages like French, Spanish, Korea, so Chinese. So all these languages were able to we Indians was able to know because of their arrival. So since they came, they even since they came, we got introduced with new languages like French, Spanish, Korea, everything. And so what happened was that we were able to study a few other languages of other countries and different dance form. India is blessed with different dance form. Beyond that, we were able to view their kind of Western kind of dance form. Then schools of music. I mean, India is blessed with schools of different kind of Carnatic, classic music, everything. But we also got adopted to their music of Western kind of music and band, pop, and everything. Then it's about the paintings. The paintings, what we have Indians do is something different, and so we have our own traditional customs of doing our paintings. Whereas the people who came out from India, they have their own paintings of Picasso's and everything. And then it's about the cuisines and religious emerge. So some of the foreigners, when they came to India, they brought some of the religious kind of aspects of some kind of new religions to India. And even now some of the religions keeps existing in this India. Different cultures thus influence one another and brought about diversity. So what happened is that all these cultures influence one way or the other and brought diversity in Indian culture and practices. And as we are going to see, there are different type of diversity. We have seen detailing what is diversity. So we are going to see how many types of diversity is existed or prevalent in India. So let us so we have four type of diversity. We are going to view it up. One is physical diversity, then there's a religious diversity, a linguistic diversity, and regional diversity. So we are going to view each diversity in very detailed manner. So let us go into the first topic, that is physical diversity. So what do you mean by physical diversity is that, what do you mean by physical? Physical means the physical features of, we used to, for your simple understanding, we used to tell the physical features of a human being, and we used to study physical features, everything of human beings in our science subjects, everything. So in the same way, in physical diversity, in social science, whenever we see physical diversity, we used to tell the physical diversity of India using the studying of map. So whenever we study the physical features, we used to focus on few things. That is the northern, especially the mountain ranges. That is the northern mountain ranges, the vast plains, the Deccan Plateau, the arid desert, the coastal plains. So different kind of physical divisions in this location, in the way there is diverse elements of physical features of India. So the reason why we used to study the physical diversity is that the India's physical diversity is something different. If you see north, east, west, south, so if you see the four directions of India, so the four directions, within the four directions, all the direction, if you visit every place of the direction, you will not be able to find same kind of ranges of mountain. You'll be able to find different kind of mountains, different kind of plains, and different kind of plateaus, and different kind of coastal plains. Even the coastal plains also that differs, and you'll be able to find different kind of soils, different kind of plantation, different kind of crops, different kind of climatic conditions. And some places you'll be able to find rainfalls, whereas other places you'll be able to find rainfall, and some places you'll be able to find extreme winter, whereas some places you will be able to find extreme summer. So there is a kind of a different kind of physical regions based on the kind of based on their kind of physical features that make something different. So ever wondered how our country's physical features made us rely on each other's our need? Our mountains are sources of rivers. That is, from our mountains we know that from each of the mountains there is a kind of waterfalls coming out, and from this waterfalls we get n number of rivers. Then rivers will be flowing out, and from this river we will be able to get water, and through wells and through other sources we get water. But through the since we have existing river only, we are able to get water, because this rivers is from this rivers we will be able to get water, and our plains grow food for the nation. The coastal areas provide fish. The peninsula plateaus is store a house of essential materials. No part of our country can flourish without the help of cooperation of other parts. So our need for food, fuel, forest resources and water makes us independent on each other. So the physical diversity is everything is interlinked. If we know that if water is not, I mean, if water is not there, we will not be able to do any type of agricultural crops, so we will not be able to do, I mean, the kind of fishes who used to live under the coastal regions. If water is not existing, they will not be able to sustain their life. So the peninsula plateau is storehouse of essential minerals. So minerals, for the essential minerals, the minerals also need some sort of water. So water is interlinked. And so yeah, I mean, fishes having fishes, I mean, systems of which is existed in the coastal areas. So then with the help of other parts of what kind of food items we need, so everything is interlinked and interrelated. So if one of the physical diversity is blocked or affected, the all the other physical diversities also get some kind of stubborn, some kind of shutdown between. So every physical diversity has its own important one way or the other. So next we are going to religious diversity. What do you mean by religious diversity? We have heard about religious diversity from our childhood days. So religious diversity is just about religion, what we can study. So we know that India is a secular country, and India does not force any of the individual follow or to only worship only one religion. India does not follow, I mean, India does not stress any individual or any citizen to worship only or follow one religion. India is a secular country, and Indian individual of every individual and every citizen are free to follow any type of religion what he or she prefer. So if people of India have the freedom to follow any religious festival, the right to celebrate their religious festivals, and every religions of the most of the important religions of India: Hindus, Muslims, Sikhs, Christians, Jains, Paris, Jews, Buddhists, etc. So the major religions, and all religions communities enjoy equal status in our country. That is the most important point that we have to be stressed around. That is, I mean, since we have since India has a secular, I mean, India is a secular country, and India is giving all the religious community equal status in our country, and all the religions have different names. If you see, all the religions have different names and different gods, and so all since even though India is having different names and different gods in religions, all the religions, especially this preach only three things. One is every religion's preach to be very peace and unite with other each and every living, I mean, individuals, and about the, I mean, preach about the brotherhood, preach how to be harmony with others. The next topic we are going to cover is linguistic diversity. People of India speak many different languages. If you see, India is having 28 states and 9 union territories. Within 28 states and 9 union territories, India official recognize about 22 official languages, and Hindi is considered to be the official language of India, and English is considered to be the official, secondary official language of India, second official language. Some states were also created on the basis of linguistic biases. The government encourages every state language and cultural differences in physical features and climate have created. So these all factors influence the linguistic diversity. The linguistic diversity means the language, the difference in the language. So as I said, there are 22 official languages, and Hindi is considered to be the official language of India, and secondary language, officially secondary language is English. And every state is having its own, government encourage every state to develop its own physical features and different kind of the linguistic features, everything within itself. So this is about the linguistic diversity. Next topic we are going to study is regional diversity. Regional means it depends upon differences in regions. So the regions have, so as I said, India is having 28 states and 9 union territories. So each 28 state and each 9 union territories have different kind of cultures and different kind of customs, practice, everything. So different lifestyles keeps on vary from one state of the state over different union territories. So what happens is that since they have regional diversity, so there is a kind of there's a kind of barriers in languages and barriers in everything. So we're going to see what it is. People living in the mountain regions of the north have a lifestyle. So people living in the north is having a lifestyle, whereas people living in the south, the coastal plains, they have a different lifestyle. So if you see the north and south, there is a kind of a drastic change that have their lifestyle, the way they live, the languages they speak, the way they view the world, everything is having a small kind of light differences. The intermingling of these differences kind of this kind of difference diversity creates a beautiful rainbow of languages and cultures. So this is about the regional diversity. Let's move on. Moving to what do you mean by what do you mean by unity in diversity? So as you all know that India has we have seen is a land of diversity is because we have seen a number of examples right now. However, in spite of all these differences, we are bounded together one common identity that we are Indians. So whenever we say that we are Indians, we all Indians used to have some kind of proud movement whenever within our hearts and within our kind of notions what we whenever we say that we are Indians. A beautiful example of unity in diversity can be found in our struggle for freedom. The British ruled India for nearly 200 years. The people of India belongs to all religions, castes, region, races, and ethnicities came together to fight against the British rule and eventually were able to win the freedom. So if you're saying unity in diversity is that during the time of freedom struggles, all the people of India unite together. Without the people's unity, we will not be able to find success in our country. So since we are able to get success within and we are able to get independence because of the unity of the people. So that is the best of the best example of unity in diversity we can point it out. And most of our freedom fighters were women. The freedom fighters were inspired by a single vision, that of a new and united India. When our country becomes free in 1947, the new leaders had just one goal within their mind to make India from every state and religion, whether it's young or old, rich or poor, everyone should feel proud to their belongings and say that we are India and work tirelessly for its progress. So that was the main notion for the freedom fighters who was dominating or ruling during this period. So when our country becomes free, they have the mindset of God mindset was just to make everyone to feel the India is unique and to have their to feel very proud about India and tirelessly work for its progress and keep on work to develop the progress and keep on going and find India to the next level. So that is the main vision of the freedom fighters. And even now also, if you see India, all the nations of India and every state is having a uniqueness, and every state is having their own. Their identity, and every state used to help each other. Every state used to have a trade relationship, and every relationship, and they used to progress one another, used to help one another. This type of unity is the background of this unity is because of the hard work and the goal of freedom fighters, leaders, and because of the leaders. So this is about the unity in diversity. So next we are moving to the last topic of this lesson, that is how can you be a responsible responsible Indian. So what do you mean by responsible? We have heard the term responsible or responsibility from your childhood days. Whenever you go to school, your teachers used to say you have to be very responsible while you're doing your work. You have to be responsible within yourself. You have to be responsible in your studies and everything. So responsible, the word responsible, you have heard a number of times within your student life and within your kind of family and everywhere. So being a responsible Indian means, so being a citizen, how can you be responsible and contribute something to our nation? So To preserve our diversity heritage, we should be responsible towards our country and our fellow Indians. So, a large section of, if you see, a large section of Indian population lives in slums and shanties, which without any without any basic amenities, and at times even without food. That is, what in the basic amenities is that I mean, for an individual, there are basically four amenities he needed for basic necessary things he needs is that one is food, shelter, water, and cloth. Food, shelter, water, and cloth. So if he is not able to get all the basic amenities, he will not be able to sustain in this world or sustain this earth. So what happens is that without eating food, their lives are very diverse from that of the other. But this diversity in living condition is something we cannot appreciate and enjoy. So we must strive to make their lives as comfortable as ours as a citizen of India. Many of our schools are working towards this goal. Some schools provide free education to underprivileged children, children. Others offers midday meals, uniforms, stationery for them. So many schools are providing lot many scholarships, a lot many grants, and lot many helps to provide free education to students. So even in India, even now in India, and keep on following in every year by year. Vocational training is given to needy students. Vocational training means giving, within the education, every school is giving some kind of training to students to develop some kind of training like carpentry, printing, tailoring, weaving helps them to become self-sufficient or self-reliant. The reason why the occasional training is given to students is that even after even after their studies, they should have some kind of skills within them, and with that skills, so they should lead a life with that skill. So if a student knows about carpentering, painting, tailoring, he has one extra skill. So with that skills, he can make productive use of resources and make use of money. With that skill, he can make some kind of money, and he can be self-reliant and self-dependent. And with that money, he can live by himself what he wants. We must try to make their lives more comfortable as ours. So it is only when each of us means the citizen what we live in the India. So if we contribute in small way to make every Indian happy, the content what we called as true India. So by this chapter by this chapter you have understood about what you mean by unity in diversity. So what you mean by diversity? So how can you be a citizen of India can contribute more and more to India? So being a student, what is your contribution to the nation is that you have to study and you have to be a responsible student, and you have to study more and more. And while you're studying, what are the basic help you can do to your friends or you can do to your society. You have to be responsible as a student and do something to the nation, and you can develop your kind of true Indian, or you can develop your spirit towards your country by doing all this help and be a responsible Indian. So by this we have come end of this chapter, chapter 1. Thank you, my dear students. I hope you have understood this chapter. Thank you.